Funny you mentioned 2000 because I was just talking to my students about that last night. So I was a 27-year-old CFO of a dot-com startup called luxuryfinder.com. We had offices on 57th Street. Jimmy Finkelstein was running that. You might know him from the media business there. And I was all hot to trot. 99 was happening, and then 2000, NASDAQ crashed. And you wouldn't want to say the word tech for at least a couple of years in New York or London because nobody wanted to even think about it, talk about it. Everybody was sick to their stomach about it. And yet, look what sprung from the ashes and look what happened with the next 20 years. Like you said, arguably one of the greatest wealth creation events the world has ever seen. And funny enough, I look at crypto in the same way right now. Funny enough, my investment club, we're putting $500,000 to work this week into two blockchain related startups because we're just taking this long view that there's still great companies in this space, and none of us are expecting them to pop next quarter or the following quarter or even the following year. But 10 years out, we still fundamentally believe this will be 10 times bigger than the internet itself. And so, if you believe that, then I guess you need to stay in these markets. And I appreciate your vision on this because you've been around the block a few times, Mooch, and you've seen these ups and downs. And you have clients that are coming to you that probably freak out about short-term losses.
I'm totally with you. And I've gotten a lot wrong in my career. I'm not sitting here as some omniscient person. I've been humbled by life. I've been humbled by markets. I made a foolish decision to work for Donald Trump. I could list the phone book, or not one phone book, the many phone books, the volumes of mistakes that I've made in my career. But the worst mistake that you can make is to quit. The worst mistake you can make is not to try. The worst mistake that you can make is to be so self-conscious and so worried about the perception that other people have of you if you have a misstep that you don't do anything. Your inaction will lead to mediocrity. I'd rather be in the arena. I'd rather be swinging as hard as I can. And I'd rather be searching for what I think are great long-term solutions for myself, for my clients, my family office, all those different things. And I would say to people, you're very smart to do that. And I would just tell people, just be sized appropriately. A 5% exposure to blockchain and crypto could be a game changer for you. If we've got it wrong and that 5% trades to zero, it won't be a life finisher. But the 5%, if we get it right, it goes 10 to 1. It's going to be a game changer for you and your family. And so to me, I think what you said, and you said it quickly, but I want to reiterate it, the blockchain and cryptocurrency and Web3 could be bigger than the internet itself. And if you actually understand what's happening, and Mark Andreessen said this better than me, he invented the Netscape browser. He was a big part of Web 1. He said, okay, this is bigger than Web 1. Why? Because it's going to disintermediate transactions. It's going to take third parties out of the system. There's going to be a lot of costless things that happen where fees that were once charged by banks and other intermediaries won't be able to be charged because the technology is so good that we don't trust each other, Brian. But if you have technology that you don't need to trust each other, and you can have this trustless bilateral system where I can transfer value to you, you can transfer value to me without a third party, there will be ridiculous levels of cost savings, and there will be ridiculous levels of economic innovation that gets unleashed. Did it invite some fraudsters in? Yes. Did it bring some leverage into the system? Sure. Did the Federal Reserve's induction of all that liquidity during the COVID-19 situation hurt us? Yes, it did. First time I met you, I obviously had known about you, had listened to a lot of your interviews, but the first time I met you was in February of 2020. Okay. And I was heading for, of all places, Italy. And so, I came back from Italy with COVID. And there I was back in my house with COVID, locked in the house. Everyone was told that they had to go home, and the Fed piled on money. They increased the money supply by 42%. So you don't think there were fraudulent activities that were taking place and market bubbles that were created by the Fed's induction of all that money? Of course there was. Now the Fed is taking the punch bowl away. We can argue and debate about Fed strategy. Did they do the right thing in 2020? Are they doing the wrong thing now? Should they have been more tempered and more moderate? I think Economic history will suggest that they should have been, but they weren't. So we have to live in the world the way it is, not the way we want it to be, not the way we think it should be. We could always work to make the world better, but we have to live in the world the way it is. And so what we know about financial history is that there are pockets of fraud that take place as we're growing and innovating. And so what we can do is we can beat ourselves up. Certainly we can do that, but I choose not to do that. I've already moved past it. I've already forgiven myself for the mistake of being in business with Sam. I'm on my way to 2023 hopeful. I can't tell you if 2023 is going to be a great year or not. I like our odds that it'll be better than 2022, but I don't know. But I am here to tell you that 5 years from now or 10 years from now, stock market will be higher. The NASDAQ will be higher. There'll be greater growth in the cryptocurrency space. Cathie Wood will likely be right in terms of price appreciation. This $900 billion of total market capitalization could be $3, $4, or $5 trillion over the next couple of years. And, I want to be a part of it.
Hey, do you want to profit from crypto? Then join my DeFi Academy. The Crypto DeFi Academy will help you create generational wealth. But don't take my word for it. Listen to my students.
When I first got into crypto, I remember thinking to myself, I need to learn more. Brian Rose, learning crypto, learning DeFi, gotta do it.
I am so grateful that I jumped in and did this. I had to break through some limiting beliefs that I can do this, that I can afford this, that I can be in this.
It challenges the things that are deeply rooted within us.
Joining DeFi Academy has been one of the best decisions I have made on my blockchain journey.
This course was a life changer, a game changer, a huge eye-opener, coming from knowing practically nothing at the speed of the learning over 4 weeks was just fantastic.
The information you provided in this class was invaluable.
I feel far more confident in my next steps.
You took complex concepts and made them easier to understand.
What's different than so many other ones is it just doesn't tell you what to do. It actually makes you do it.
This is for people who are serious about becoming traders. This is the way it should be done.
I realized from this learning experience again that it is not about what you learn, but about who you learn it from.
The energy was insane. I've never experienced such incredible energy on a live call. Brian Rose, you are a legend, my friend.
It's the only thing in the market where you can get all information and learn everything what you need to know.
Everything is so clear and so well done, and I'm just forever grateful for this program.
It made me feel so much more confident about crypto than I did before.
I did not anticipate how passionate I was going to become about it.
This course has been like a big learning experience for me, not just in the crypto space, but just an overall balance of life.
What I've learned is, how to take ownership, of my life in a way that I really hadn't before.
Yeah, you can't put a price on that, really.
I would recommend it to anybody, top notch.
Excellence does not come cheap. So if you want excellence, you gotta pay for it, but it's so worth it.
Pull the trigger. That's what this course is about.
You're not going to regret it, really. It's amazing.
Thank you, Brian and team.
So what are you waiting for? Crypto is happening now. Click the link below, submit your application, and let me mentor you on how to create generational wealth and build the decentralized financial infrastructure of the future.